My name is Ella Brady, and I am going to be talking to you today about education and training, also known as DC235. So I'd like to thank you all for coming on here today to listen to me. I won't keep you for too long, yeah, so we'll begin. So I myself, I'll just do a quick rundown of myself. Won't bore you too much, and talk to you a little bit about why I chose the course. So I myself am a second year undergraduate. Currently studying education and training, here at DCU. Originally, I wanted to be a primary teacher. I'm not going to lie to you. And instead, I decided that I was going to be go down this route due to the leaving cert points. So I didn't reach, I think the year I did it, it was 520, and I didn't reach the leaving cert points. However, I didn't give up. I had this course, education and training, down on my CAO as my second option, and was very glad to take it when it came my way. So the course itself, through me doing the course education and training, has actually broadened a lot of my interests, and I've gained a lot of experience through doing the course itself. That our different careers completely different to primary teaching, still in the education sector, but it just shows by doing the degree there's not just one straight route to primary teaching. I did also attend lots of open days across Ireland, including DCU itself. So I'm slightly biased in the sense, but I got a great feel for the college and the community within the college itself. So you probably don't want to hear a lot more about me. I'll just tell you a little bit about the course itself. So we have the structure of the course. So there is two different structures to the course. There is a 3-year and a 4-year. So I'll begin by telling you about the 3-year option, and then I'll continue on and let you know about the 4 years. So within your 3 years, you have your year, my apologies. You have your year 1, your year 2, and your year 3. So within your year 1, this is just a quick overview of the certain topics or interests that we go into throughout the course. So in first year, you look a lot into your curriculum development, so behind the scenes, what goes into making the curriculum itself. You have your ICT, which is looking into your sustainable development and education and how that is included so much more in education today. You have your development in psychology, so you have a bit of psychology and sociology throughout the course as well, and at times a bit of philosophy as well, which can be quite interesting for some. You also have social and personal development, so not only looking at development of the students, but the development as you as an educator yourself. That would have been one of my favourite modules last year, because it was quite interesting to get to know your classmates, but also the different techniques and experiences and life experiences that everyone has within your class. You look into politics, so it can be an interesting topic as well to see other people's views, to do that bit of research. We look into citizenship, so the equality and diversity within the education sector and how that is growing immensely. You look into concepts and context, so that would be the history behind education. You have your micro teaching, which was one of my favourite modules last year as well, which is when you get a little bit of hands-on experience, not within a classroom itself, but within a smaller group of students in your class. And then you have your methodologies as well, which is a very fancy word, just to talk about strategies, and you learn how to teach. In your second year, you have more psychology, you look into the advancement of teaching, and you have a placement. So your placement year within second year is a smaller group, which I'll go into a little bit more detail now. It is a smaller group, it's a smaller placement instead of your bigger placement, which I'll talk about in a minute. Within your smaller placement, you have to only do 30 hours of placement. This can be done in any education setting. I am currently doing mine at the moment. I started it yesterday in a primary school. So as much as this course is focused a lot on adult education, for your second year placement, you can do it in any education environment. So you can do it in your primary, secondary, you can do it in FET, community education, or the likes of the youth reach. And alongside that, you have a lot of reflection workshops to do with your placement. In your third year, then you have your research project, which includes a lot to do with the technological side into learning. You look into enterprise and education, the psychological sides again, developing research, equality, inclusion, etc. So if you have any more questions about that, please don't hesitate to jump into the chat. Now I'm going to continue on. So that would be your placement 1, which I spoke about in your second year, but I will talk about now your year 3. So earlier I was talking about your optional year. So you have your 3-year or your 4-year. Now your 3-year is what I just previously spoke about. However, if you were to do 4 years of the degree, your third year, I know it sounds a little bit confusing, your third year would be known as your optional year. So that would also be a placement year. So similarly to in your second year when you have a smaller placement, this is a full year placement. So it gives you the opportunity to teach on placement in FET over 2 semesters. So you have your semester 1 and your semester 2. Included in this, you'd have 100 hours of teaching, and you'd have 60 hours of observation, and you'd have your mentor tutors, which you can talk with throughout the year. The important part about the placement year is it is only recognition of placement, is a recognition of the teaching council. So you get your teaching council accreditation, which means you're registered with the teaching council in Ireland. However, it is important to note this is only in FET. So a lot of students, if they want to continue on to primary, would do your PME, which is your master's, and they do that after the degree. And some would only do the 3-year. However, it is optional to do the 4-year, and you can do your third year placement. I know that does sound like a lot, so if you do have any more questions, please don't hesitate to ask. But just to emphasize, your placement year is what gets you your teaching council accreditation. If you were to do the 3 years, you do not come out of the degree with the teaching council accreditation. However, it is only in FET. So that would be your further education and training. So the likes of your PLC courses, your level 5s and your level 6s. These here listed below are just a few core skills and knowledges which you yourself can develop throughout doing this course. So your technologicals, your entrepreneurship, I won't go too much into them because I know I did talk a little bit about them earlier on. And similarly, here we have your progression options. So that's another thing that a lot of people would talk about. So you have your teaching and further education and training, which is your 4-year route. You have your industry training, which is your corporate business and organizations. So it just shows within the course, it's not just teaching. There are so many other opportunities that are open to you. You have your education officer, student support and EU programs, which you can also partake in after this degree. You have your postgraduate and further studies. So you can go into, as I said a few moments ago, your PME, which is your primary teaching. You have your human resources, which is business. You can go into guidance counselling, so that would be where your philosophy and your psychology and your sociology would come into it. You can go into instructional design, your learning technologists, so a lot of the key ICT skills would come into that, and your psychology as well, and your educational publishing. So just to go back, because I did go through it quite quickly, we have the third year. So you have your 3 years or you have your 4 years. So just to emphasize, your 3 years is 3 years of a degree and you've no teaching accreditation. However, you can be an FET. You can go into FET or you can go and continue a different degree after. However, to get that teaching accreditation, you would have to do your 4 years in your degree. So it just shows there is other options within education. And if you want more information, please do look at the website. Also, I know we'd all be talking about the Leaving Cert, most important. So the big thing that people to be asking is to do with the grades. So it is quite quite nice with comparison to other courses where you need an O6 or an H7 in 6 Leaving Cert subjects. One of which has to include English or Irish, and mathematics is compulsory. You have to have an addition of application of the, if you are applying for this course, you must also have at least 2 H5 grades within your Leaving Cert, so that would be 2 higher level subjects. However, if you are coming into the course through QQI or level 5, the students have to attend the full a level 5 degree and get an award with distinctions in 5 modules. There are no restrictions on the top of the QQI award. Mature students, however, can apply through the CAO. And speaking of the CAO, the points for 2023 were 337. So they are quite generous in comparison to other courses, and you come out of it with so much more options. I know myself at the start of the degree, I was hoping to do primary teaching. However, now have expanded so many horizons and have made me even look into the likes of FBT, community education, etc. And just to note as well, there is a foundation program in education and training, which can be really helpful. So it's a PLC course that's run up at Whitehall College, and it is in connection with this course. So they come in 1 day a week. So if you didn't know what you wanted to do, if you don't want to come directly into this course, there is a feeder course into it through Whitehall College. So I'd like to thank you all for listening to me today. Also, I just have up on the screen here, Orna Farrell is the chairperson of our course, and I have got permission from her today to share her contact information, because I'm not too sure if it's on the website. However, if you would like to contact her for any further questions, please do. So this is just her information here. And if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask me in the chat below. So I hope that is a quick, I know very quick rundown of the course itself and my experience within the course, and I hope you all enjoyed. So thank you so much for listening to me today, and yeah, thank you.